Welcome back to Property Report UK, your trusted source for clear, authoritative insight into Britain's housing market. If you're thinking about buying, selling, investing, or simply trying to understand what on earth is happening right now, today's report is essential viewing. Because the UK property market has entered a phase we've never seen before. Not a slowdown, not a cooling off, but a near total standstill, a freeze driven not by economics, but by politics. And in just days, on the 26th of November, the Chancellor's budget could reshape the housing landscape in ways that save some people tens of thousands of pounds while costing others far more. So let's break down what's actually happening, why the market has seized up, and what you should be doing right now to protect yourself. And remember, if you want reliable, calm, and factual analysis without the noise, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. This channel exists to give you the information the headlines often won't. Across the country, the same strange pattern is emerging. Viewings are still going ahead. Buyers are attending open houses, asking thoughtful questions, nodding along, taking notes and then disappearing. Estate agents report the same outcome again and again. We like the property, we're still interested, but we're waiting. Waiting for what? Waiting for November 26th. And the numbers confirm it. Buyer demand is down 8% compared to last year. New sales agreements have fallen 3%. That decline may sound modest, but it's the first annual drop in 2 years. 2 years of steady recovery suddenly reversed. Even more unusual, the traditional Christmas slowdown, which normally begins in late November, arrived nearly 2 months early. Properties that would normally attract strong interest are seeing none. Chains are collapsing mid-process. Buyers who were weeks from completion are suddenly walking away. This isn't fear, this is strategy. Because for months, rumors have leaked from Westminster hinting at sweeping reforms to how property is taxed and how homeownership is treated in the UK. And with the Chancellor preparing to announce the government's plans, hundreds of thousands of buyers have chosen to wait for clarity. Let's imagine you're buying a home. You've spent 4 months progressing your purchase. You've paid for surveys, solicitors, mortgage fees. You've given notice on your rental. Your family is preparing to move. Then overnight, the government adds several £1,000s to your costs through a tax change, a change you couldn't have predicted or avoided. This is the scenario people fear. And the proposals being discussed behind closed doors range from significant to transformational. One of the most controversial ideas being explored in government circles is the replacement of stamp duty with an annual property tax on homes valued above £500,000. It wouldn't matter how long you've owned your home. You'd pay the tax every year, scaled by property value. This would hit London and the South East disproportionately hard. In many areas, perfectly ordinary 3-bed family homes exceed £500,000. These aren't mansions, they're standard family houses. A policy framed as taxing the wealthy could, in practice, become a tax on geography. For decades, selling your main home in the UK has been tax-free. It's been a pillar of British property ownership. But rumours suggest this principle may be eroded for homes valued above £1.5 million. That includes a huge number of ordinary properties in parts of London. A home bought for £80,000 in the 1990s could now be worth more than £1.5 million simply due to rising local prices. Under the proposal, these owners could face capital gains tax running into the hundreds of thousands. They didn't flip the home. They didn't trade it for profit. They simply lived there long enough for the market to climb around them and could now be taxed on that paper gain. Landlords already face substantial tax pressure. Reduced mortgage interest relief, higher stamp duty surcharges, tighter energy and tenant regulations. An 8% national insurance charge on rental income would push many small landlords to breaking point, especially those with 1 or 2 properties. If they exit the market, the result is predictable. Fewer rental homes, higher rents, more corporate landlord dominance. And once again, tenants ultimately pay the price. In April this year, stamp duty thresholds for first-time buyers fell sharply. And because the government announced the change months in advance, the impact was dramatic. March transactions more than doubled as buyers rushed to complete. April saw a collapse. Boom. Bust. All triggered by policy timing. Now, with November 26th approaching, the market is repeating this cycle only on a much larger scale. An estimated 350,000 transactions worth over £100 billion are stalled. Everyone is waiting for the Chancellor's next move. While the national market freezes, regional differences are becoming sharper. The Northeast, prices up over 6% year-on-year, with some areas topping 8%. Strong affordability is drawing buyers northwards. The Northwest, Manchester, Liverpool, and surrounding regions are still seeing robust demand driven by business investment and job growth. Wales and Scotland, moderate but steady price rises. But London tells a different story. Growth is flat. Some boroughs are slipping into decline. The average property price is around £596,000, but variation is huge. Central London remains inflated by international demand, while commuter areas face stagnation. That £500,000 tax threshold. In London, it includes a massive share of normal family homes, again confirming this is less a tax on wealth and more a tax on postcode. Another rumored reform involves updating council tax bands for high-value homes, something many economists believe is overdue. But while the idea sounds logical, the consequences could be severe. Elderly homeowners living on limited income could face sharply higher annual bills simply because their neighborhood has appreciated over decades. They may be asset-rich on paper but cash-poor in reality. Analysts see two possible scenarios. Scenario 1: aggressive reform. Major tax changes land immediately. The market reacts sharply. Buyers pull out. Prices fall in higher value areas. Chains collapse. Transaction levels drop. Construction and renovation industries take a hit. This is the risk everyone is preparing for. Scenario 2: measured change. The Chancellor announces consultations rather than immediate reforms. Confidence returns. Frozen demand unblocks. December and January see a surge in activity. Prices stabilize or rise modestly. Many experts believe this second outcome is more likely. The government needs revenue, but it also needs house prices and transaction volumes to stay healthy. Here's the clearest guidance based on your position. If you're mid-transaction and must move, proceed, but budget for unexpected costs. Waiting indefinitely isn't realistic when schools, jobs, or family commitments are involved. If you're browsing but not in a rush, waiting for the November 26th budget makes sense. A 2-week pause could protect you from major surprises. If you're selling, be realistic. This is a buyer's market. Pricing aggressively will push your home to the bottom of the list. If you're a landlord, run the numbers now. If your margins are already thin, consider whether exiting early may prevent a rush of landlords selling at the same time. This freeze is a symptom of deeper issues. Government budgets relying on housing taxes. A system where regional prices are wildly uneven. Chronic underbuilding. A rental market squeezed from both sides. Younger generations priced out and discouraged. Britain must eventually decide what it wants housing to be. A wealth-building tool. A basic public need. A heavily taxed asset. A market dominated by institutions. A path to homeownership for ordinary families. Right now, the country is trying to be all of these at once and failing to satisfy any side. On November 26th, the Chancellor will step forward and reveal the government's plans. Within hours, we'll know whether confidence returns to the market, prices stabilize, transactions restart, or whether Britain enters a deeper freeze that continues into 2026. The entire property sector, from buyers and sellers to landlords, builders, and renters, is holding its breath. If this report helped you understand what's really happening in the UK property market, make sure you subscribe to Property Report UK. We'll be covering every detail of the November 26th budget, breaking down what each announcement means for homeowners, buyers, landlords, and renters. Don't risk missing critical updates that could affect your finances for years. Subscribe, stay informed, and join us for clear, trusted analysis you won't find anywhere else. This is Property Report UK. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next update.